In the United States, the Americans with Disabilities Act proscribes discrimination against persons with disabilities in employment, public services, public accommodations, and telecommunications, and that includes HIV and AIDS. Despite laws prohibiting the use of HIV testing to discriminate against persons living with HIV, discrimination based upon HIV status continues to occur in the workplace. Some laws proscribe mandatory HIV testing during recruiting, employment, or both. Denial of employment or deferential treatment based upon HIV status violates anti-discrimination laws and policies. Employees living with HIV are often subjected to differential treatment in the workplace by their employers, co-workers, unions, or clients. Laws protect the confidentiality of HIV-related information in the workplace. Privacy laws with confidentiality provisions that extend to employers may protect medical and insurance reports sent to the employer. It is inappropriate to refuse to treat HIV-positive persons due to their HIV status. Direct denials of care on the basis of HIV status are often prohibited under general anti-discrimination legislation or through disability or HIV-specific laws. Protections against discrimination in the healthcare setting may arise from general anti-discrimination laws or from provisions that specifically prescribe differential treatment in the health sector. The U.S. government has the legal authority and discretion to restrict entry of immigrants, so long as these restrictions do not contradict international treaties or violate domestic laws pertaining to travel or immigration. Immigration policies may also impact the ability of HIV-positive persons to become refugees or receive asylum. National laws and policies may address discrimination related to benefits, financial services, and access to public accommodations through general anti-discrimination laws. Based on the duty to disclose HIV status to a partner, an HIV-infected individual who withholds information about his or her status and either causes or exposes a partner to injury without necessarily transmitting HIV can be held liable for battery, assault, negligence, and fraud. Fraud includes the active concealment of a fact by one having knowledge or belief of the fact. An HIV-positive individual may negligently spread the virus without any malicious intent. If he or she knowingly or willingly exposes an unknowing partner to HIV, that constitutes criminal negligence or willful exposure, which is punishable by imprisonment and fine. However, the legal ramifications of exposing an uninfected individual to HIV differ depending on 1, intent, and 2, whether transmission of HIV occurs. Injecting drug users, some of the most restrictive legislation regarding purchasing of syringes exists in the United States. Interestingly, in July 1992, the state of Connecticut passed a law permitting the purchase and possession of up to 10 syringes without a prescription and made parallel changes in its paraphernalia law. Following the legislative changes, there was an increase in the number of syringes sold in pharmacies. Self-reported needle sharing declined, as did the incidence and prevalence of HIV. Exchange programs have also proved to be an important strategy for limiting the transmission of HIV among injecting drug users and the non-drug using population. Treatment with a drug substitute has been shown to be effective in curtailing drug use as well as reducing the incidence of HIV. Sex work. In the United States, criminalization of sex work and solicitation of sex is the norm. But the criminal statutes make it difficult to reach sex working populations with public health interventions. Additionally, the police may harass sex workers based on vague statutes on loitering, vagrancy, breach of public order, or hooliganism, among others, or for the lack of appropriate documentation, such as a passport, a residency permit, etc. These actions by the police often contribute to the marginalization of sex workers, which in turn heightens the possibility that they will become infected with HIV. And an interesting case in 1993 in Florida, Johnson versus Carson, a United States court struck down a statute that prohibited loitering for the purpose of soliciting prostitution. The court found that the statute is vague because, under the wording of the statute, a person could be arrested for innocent activities, such as standing on a street and talking to passers-by. Under the statute, known prostitutes could be arrested for waiting for a bus or standing in a public place. Some jurisdictions have chosen instead to decriminalize and regulate sex work, for example, in parts of Nevada. For sex work, 100% condom use programs are ideal. No condom, no sex policy. Trafficking women for sex work is not only a grave violation of human rights, but also illegal and fuels the spread of HIV. Men having sex with men are at high risk of contracting HIV, but their opportunities for protection from infection may be reduced by societal discrimination. Sodomy laws may prohibit specific acts such as anal sex, oral sex, etc., as well as regulate a range of same-sex activity. Following the 2003 United States Supreme Court decision in Lawrence versus Texas, which invalidated Texas anti-homosexual laws and similar laws in other states, many states in the United States have repealed their sodomy laws. Men having sex with men are often targeted for prosecution or harassment through laws that are enacted on the grounds of needing to protect the morality and decency of society. These statutes may take the form of laws against antisocial behavior, immoral behavior, causing a public scandal, or loitering, among others. Men having sex with men do have rights of association and expression, but they may be discouraged from meeting in public places, expressing their opinions and creative endeavors, participating in public health programs or research, and seeking public health services. Consequently, they may be driven deeper underground, making HIV prevention efforts less effectual. Women living with HIV may be routinely subjected to social barriers that decrease their ability to access medical treatment. Marital rape is generally defined as unwanted intercourse obtained by a woman's husband or ex-husband through force or threat of force, or when she is unable to consent. Marital rape makes married women at high risk for HIV, and criminalizing marital rape may help reduce HIV transmission by discouraging HIV-positive men from having forced sex with their uninfected wives. Reproductive rights encompass individuals' freedom to determine the number, spacing, and timing of their children, the right to access the information necessary to make such determinations, and the right to the highest available standard of sexual and reproductive health.